Welcome to Windsong Ranch in Prosper, Texas, one of the most popular neighborhoods in all of North Dallas. I'm here with my man, Travis Plum, and we are about to take you on a blue tape walk through this new construction property that was just purchased. Now, we've already met with the builder, but we're gonna take you through, walk you around, show you everything that you need to look at whenever you're purchasing a new construction before you close on the home. So let's go check it out. All right, so now we're inside this amazing home built by Southgate here in Windsong Ranch, and we're gonna walk you around, just kind of point out some things so that if when you purchase a new construction home, with us of course, right?
Yeah, of course, I mean, who else?
With us. Make sure you don't go straight to the builder. I've got a tape measure. My man Travis, he's got a level. He's got a level. These are the types of things you wanna kind of have with you just to take a look, and you will have actual blue tape. So whenever you're walking through the house, you're gonna notice blue tape on the wall. The reason for that is because it lets the person know, the contractor, when they come back in, what they need to fix. There, you might see two colors. You'll see blue and we have green. So blue is more to fix. Green will be related to texture, things like that, that they need to touch up on the walls or on the ceiling. So let's walk right in here into the movie room. And Travis, you've done a ton of these walkthroughs. So what are you usually looking for whenever you take a client on a walkthrough?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the builder is going to meet you here, right? And so they're going to be here. They're going to typically they're going to already have walked through the house, and they're going to put up their own blue tape. But you want to come in here and you want to make sure, you know, that you don't miss anything. I mean, this is the one opportunity that you're going to have. I guess you're going to have one more opportunity right before you close, because they're going to come in here, they're going to fix everything up, and you're going to have one more final walkthrough, typically the day before you close. And so, you know, when we came in here originally, you know, there was some blue tape, but you'll notice like this one was like already over here, right? But like behind the wall, you know, little things like this right here, you know, this is your basically like your one opportunity to fix things that are like a cosmetic repair, because once you close on the property, they're not going to close little things. They're not going to fix little things that are cosmetic. So just like little stuff like this right here, you know, they're going to come in here, they're going to touch it up, and they're going to repaint it. So you're going to want to walk through the whole entire house, and we're going to continue to show you, you know, some of the things that we saw, some of the things that we noticed that we want to get touched up, fixed. And you want to, you know, you want to take your time when you're doing this, because, you know, little things like you may not be able to see, like in the wall, like just like texture, you know, if you're not paying really close attention, it's good to have a couple people come in here, because sometimes texture is really hard to catch. But other than that, I mean, we're going to walk through this property, and so that's just like some of the little things, is like paint and texture. There's a bunch of other things like the builder walks you through. They show you how the appliances work. They show you, you know, they walk you around the whole entire house and like tell you how everything works, where everything is. So it's a really cool process, and I think it's really cool buying a brand new construction property, because you really get it from scratch, and you know everything about the property. You know where the water lines are, you know where the plumbing is, you know where like everything is. So, you know, I think we should go check out some other parts of the house.
Absolutely. And the reason that they will not do this after closing is because, of course, as you move in, if you ding up the walls, mess up the flooring, you know, then it becomes a he said, she said, right? Who did this? Who did what? So you have to get all this taken care of. Now, you'll notice if you walk in, you might want to zoom in here a little bit, Alex, and you can see these are some texture issues, right? Inconsistency in the walls. So something little like that. Remember, you're buying a new construction property. This is your money. So you have every right to make sure that this home is just the way you want to see it. But we walk in through here, you know, you just want to keep an eye on every little aspect you can. Now, when you come over here, you're going to see where there's a lot of blue tape right over here. So just, again, a lot of texture issues, little dings. Things like the stairs, we know they're going to refinish right before closing, because, you know, people are going to be coming in, up and down the stairs, so it doesn't really matter how they look now. As long as the builder has agreed to finish that out, they'll be good. And then whenever you come into the kitchen, anything you want to...
Yeah, and hey, real quick,
I
want to show you this. So you notice how there's some blue tape right here? if you're walking by this house like normally and you're not really paying attention to it, like you may not catch this, but this one little piece is a little bit loose right here, and it's slightly turned in at a really small angle. So they're gonna come in here, they're gonna tighten this up, they're gonna straighten it up, because you know, we wanna try to make these brand new construction properties for people who are buying them about as perfect as we possibly can get them, right? So, you know, just little things like that, you're gonna definitely wanna keep an eye out for.
And see, now I just noticed, even though we just walked through this, like this could be touched up right here in between the oven. So yeah, no, that's exactly what I was gonna do. I was like, hey, I'm gonna take a little bit of that. We need that though, because there's a little mark. Is there? No, we didn't mark anything up there. No. So we'll do a little mark right there, lets them know. But the other aspect, just like Travis mentioned, you wanna make sure cabinets, you know, paint, but the builder is going to walk you through how things work. So little things like coming over here and showing you that the vents on the hood easily pop down and come out, and they can go in the dishwasher for cleaning, right? So something just simple like that is what's really nice walking through. He'll walk you through all the switches, how the fan and the exhaust fan works on there, the stove, pretty standard for a gas stove, where the switch is for the garbage disposal. I mean, simple things like that underneath the counter. Your breakers, all of these are GFCIs. So where does that, where can you locate that? How do you operate the dishwasher? Just little simple things like that, especially with appliances these days. I mean, you need to know how that stuff works. We'll come through here. And again, as we just kind of look through everything, this is something if we come back, and this is why it's good to have, two set of eyes as well. Like Travis noticed this, I didn't. And I'm a pretty detail-oriented person,
and that's why you know, I always like to bring a level on here, right? Because if Alex, if you'll back up a little bit more, you can see that. Yeah.
See, there's a bow. See, there's a bow on that frame for the window.
Right, and like on this one right here, you know, it's absolutely perfectly level, right? And again, this is like the one time that you're gonna be able to fix something like this, and you want it fixed because, you know, once you see it, you can't unsee it. And then when you come over here, you can tell, you know, that if you actually come around, this little bubble is more over onto the side of that level, right? And so even though right here, you know, when they were building this thing, they probably came over here, you know, they're busy, you know, they're trying to get things done, and they're gonna set it right here in the middle, and it looks a little bit level right there, but if I'm sliding this over here into the corner, I can tell that this is off. This is probably like a 1/4 inch off or something along those lines. So, you know, the builder came and he saw that, we pointed that stuff out, and actually I'm going to touch this up right here because this needs a little bit of a touch up, but you know, they're going to come in here and they're going to fix this and they're going to make it absolutely perfect. And this is a big deal, especially in the living room.
And then you'll see right here, so these plates right here that are blank serve as a purpose. This is where you can hardwire in speakers all throughout the house. So these are on the walls, they're in the ceilings, almost throughout the whole house. They're outside. That's not something the builder, unless you did this completely custom. This was a spec home that was being built, and so you're gonna get it as is, which is why they won't, you know, put something like knobs on the cabinets. So that's something else you wanna make sure you're looking at, which right now you can get a pretty good deal on a spec house, but again, you're not going to be able to customize everything you want in there. You'd have to build a custom home from scratch if you want every little detail taken care of. But even showing you things like here, like how the screen pops off on this fireplace here. So that comes down underneath. Like, how does it work? You have the pilot light under there. This is a gas fireplace. What the switches are in case you run into any issues. If you want to turn off the pilot light for the summertime, and if you want to, you know, turn it back on for the wintertime. So just little things like that. There's a simple switch right over here. I love that, like a light switch to turn on the fireplace, and that makes it very simple. So you're looking up and you're just trying to notice anything you can. It's much harder to see a little bit up top, but then you'll catch, again, little texture marks and paint chips and things like that up there.
Yeah, so, hey, and I want to touch base on something. One little hack. So we found a spot that's like way up on the wall. You probably can't see it with here. If you have a Sharpie or something, you can, because it's a texture problem, right? You can write a little arrow. So the people that are fixing these, they're going to know that oh my goodness, that sun is bright. They're going to know that they need to look up and they need to see that. If you don't have If you don't have a Sharpie, then what you do is you just take your tape and you break it up into 3 pieces and you create a triangle with your tape, and that's gonna give the builders and the people who are gonna come in here to fix it, they're gonna know that they need to look up to find where that texture spot is. So that's just kind of a little hack right there when you're coming through and you're doing a blue tape walkthrough.
But overall, everything, I mean, this builder did a really good job as far as, you know, not having a lot of issues. Some builders we've been to have had a lot of issues. You'll come into the study, or what I would like to call the studio, the YouTube studio. And again, you know, very simple. I mean, this is a simple room, not much going on here, but again, you just want to look for marks. You know, marks, texture inconsistency, something like that. So we got a texture mark there. We've got a blue tape up here just for, it looks like dirt or smudge or something, which again, hey, it's your right to ask for them to correct that. Now these are the high-end laminate flooring right here. So something else spoken with the builders, you know, are they gonna put quarter round or caulking? Something to know if you have laminate flooring. They won't caulk it, the builder won't unless you ask them to. The reason being is because you have a 1-year warranty on this flooring, and it does expand and contract with the weather here in Texas. Not a whole lot, you're probably not gonna see a lot of problems with that, but if you caulk it on the baseboard, it's gonna void the warranty out. Now, that's only for a year, and you're probably not gonna have any issues anyways, but it really just depends on what you're looking for or what you want. You could also add quarter round at the bottom, but some would say that doesn't necessarily fit with this style of the home. So, you know, you want something, this is a little bit more of a modern, well, not a little bit, this is a modern, clean look. It's more traditional look on the outside, but modern on the inside. So those straight, clean lines is what, you know, really defines the space. And it's something like a quarter round, according, you know, to the designer's eye, will kind of throw off the space, right?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I do agree with that, yeah.
So again, you'll notice down here, and you'll see this because when the construction crew's coming through here, they're gonna knock, you know, they're gonna chip, they're gonna scratch, they're gonna run into stuff all the time. And we're gonna walk into the primary bedroom. We move into here. They're gonna show you like even how your thermostat works. What I love about this thermostat is that you don't have to switch it from hot to cold. So
that's right.
It'll automatically adjust.
I love the new technology and all this stuff, man. It's
keep
so
it in
convenient.
there. Now, of course, you know, they broke this window on install, so that is something that will be replaced. You don't have to move into a home with a broken window. Yep. But something like this is something else you want to keep in mind. Like, they did not install a ceiling fan in the primary bedroom, which is unfortunate, but simply ask the builder if we can get the part number and the brand for the one that's in the living room, and you can match the other fans. That would be an expense you'd have to incur yourself, but, you know, really minimal.
Well, I mean, and the reason why they typically do that, and if it's not like a true custom build, is everyone has a different style, right? Everyone's style is a little bit different, so they have it all pre-wired, and it is a little bit of an inconvenience, and it's something that you definitely want to budget for. But at least you get to pick out your own ceiling fans, and like Levi was saying, if you want the same ceiling fan that the builders have, you can, to get it, you know, kind of uniform throughout the entire property, then you can definitely order those from the builders. They will not install them. I think it's really important to know you'll still have to come in here and you'll have to install your ceiling fan. So if you want, you order it with the builder, keep everything really uniform, or you can go pick out your own stuff and make it your own. So
now we'll move into the primary bath, and again, you're just keeping an eye out for anything that you want to take a look at. You can see the paint. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it just doesn't look like it was completely painted, or maybe they only did one coat. So that's something where we've marked up here. Again, you know, for those that have never had a nice tub before or something like that, again, the builder is going to walk you through how does this work. Simple, like push stop drain to drain, which is nice. Overflow, if you don't want overflow, push that in. So just little simple things like that that you may not know. You come in here, you look at the shower, everything looks good as brown. You know, we just found some taint. Up at the top, you can see, yeah, the caulking is not complete there. But again, that's just something that you want to point out and make sure that they catch as well. But other than that, come through here in this nice, beautiful walk-in closet. Lots of space in here. Nothing really much to worry about. And I wouldn't be too concerned. It's a closet, but hey. But you can still mark it off. All right, so now we're gonna head upstairs and take a look. Again, Travis pointed out this, this railing that's off center. there a little bit. You'll notice there is scuffs and things like that on the stairs, but as we mentioned, that's something that will be taken care of whenever they finalize everything. All right, so here, now we're upstairs in the game/family area. Now you'll notice, again, no ceiling fan up here, but there's gonna be a dead switch. So any of the rooms that don't have a ceiling fan is likely gonna have a dead switch, so you can easily install that ceiling fan and it'll automatically be linked to that switch. So that way, if you wanna add it, you can do that. And again, you can see the dead plates up here, that's for the surround sound. You could have speakers throughout the whole house, hook that up to Bluetooth. It'll be rocking everywhere, right?
Yeah, and I always bring this level because I've done a lot of walkthroughs on new construction properties, and Southgate actually builds a really good home. I can't tell you how many homes that I've walked into where the entire house is covered in blue tape or green tape and things are completely uneven and unlevel. And so I just like, you know, for me, I really like the window seals to be really level. And like, I mean, I walked around with this and I hit the door frames, I hit everything. And other than that one, I mean, honestly, every single thing in this property is like perfectly level. They did a fantastic job of putting this home together. So it's a good one, man.
Let's go check out some bedrooms.
Yeah, check it out.
All right, so here we're in one of the kids' bedrooms. There's not much going on here, except I did notice, you know, behind here on just the paint touch-up, like the cut-in, you can easily see it wasn't cut in very clean on the side of the door molding there. So just things like that just, you don't want that to be left out. You want that taken care of. Come to the bathroom. You know, hey, we're missing a mirror, so they got to put up a mirror. But other than that, everything looks pretty clean. And then they will show you, if you look in this closet right here, you know, again, the builder is going to show you like where all your paneling is, where this is where the internet provider, if they come in and install, they're probably going to link in here somewhere. And just little simple things like that you want to know about, and the builder will walk you through all of those so you know exactly where everything's at whenever you're ready to move it. And you definitely want to go into the attic. You don't want to skip that. So let's go take you for a tour in the attic.
And they'll tell you, be really careful with this because there's not a lot of clearance for the ladder to come down. So make sure that when you're going up here, if you don't want to have any scuff marks on your property, then you make sure you push that down all the way as much as you can. Obviously here in Texas, we don't have basements, we have attics, and we got a lot of attic storage, and we'll show you a couple other spots around the house that you can kind of see how much storage we absolutely have.
And you'll see there's a light switch right there at the top of the wall, so you can turn on the light easily.
Okay, I gotta say something because that is super cool.
Yeah.
Because in my house, the light switches are in the same panel. So like, if you don't know that that light switch is flipped, you could have your electricity running in the attic and no one would ever even know. So I love that. I'm actually gonna probably have to switch that up.
All right, now you're in the attic, and this is something you do want to come up here with the builder. They're gonna take you up here. Simple things like this. This has two furnaces, of course, one for the downstairs, one for the upstairs, and you wanna know simply to change your own filter where it's at. First of all, nice filter in there. The builder was cool enough that they put the size of the filter on the outside right there for you, so you know which type you want to reorder. So that makes it very simple.
And which way the air flows.
Yeah, which way the air flows.
That's very important, because if you put the filter in the wrong way, you're not going to get good airflow. It's not going to clean out you're just not going to have you a clean house. So.
Yep, so your filter tells you which way the air should flow, you know, and they're telling you which way the air flows on the outside here. So when you put it in there, you put it in the right way, and you're good to go. That's a pretty thick one. So this one's number 1, this one's number 2, and there's 2 cutoff switches right here as well, which makes it easy if you ever need maintenance or service, and the service provider is up here, they can just cut the power. And then of course you have your drip pans underneath here. This is something that should always be empty. So if you ever come up here, well, first of all, you'll know because there's drain lines, okay? So these drain lines are positioned, and we'll show you when we go outside, they're positioned over a window. So if you ever see dripping from outside of from your window, then that tells you that there's water in your drain pan, and that's a problem. So you could come up here, check. This could be full, or maybe it's half full. You definitely don't want it to be overflowing. That could be a serious problem. Shouldn't get that way. It should drain enough to give you that warning, but that's, if you ever notice that, that's what you want to check out. Let's head back downstairs. So again, coming into, you know, what would be the kids' rooms, just some minor touch-ups that are needed, and then you have another attic space.
Let's check it out.
Attic access area.
Ba, ba, ba. See, look, you don't need basements in Texas. We got storage in the attic. Look at all this. And you can, I've seen people do really crazy stuff, you know, with these attics. I've seen them convert these into secret rooms. Like you could have a little hidden door safe in here. You could have a safe in here. Like I've seen people do some really crazy stuff. I mean, there's plenty of space in here to do whatever you want. You could add more flooring in here if you want. If you want to have this as a bigger storage area, you could completely floor this whole thing in, go all the way down. I mean, the sky's the limit, so you certainly don't need a basement, but plenty of storage here in the attic.
Let's head back downstairs. All right, let's head into the garage and we'll show you a couple of things in here. And as you walk in, this is very important over here, is that you have, like again, the builder should walk you through all of this stuff, show you where the water cut off. Like if you were to have some sort of emergency in the front of the house or anything like this, this will cut off water to the inside of the house. You have to be on the street if you want to cut off water from the street to the house. So just simply turning that lever up will shut off the water flow. And then of course you've got your tankless water heater right here. And if you ever need to relieve pressure, you simply just pull that up to relieve some pressure on there. You want to flush this out, you know, once or twice, or, you know, once a year maybe, or every 2 or 3 years. You could also have a service company come in and flush this out, hook up a water hose, flush that system. And then, you know, you have your electrical panel over here. So again, the builder should kind of give you a little rundown. I love how just everything's labeled. You know, I've been in these older homes for so long where it's just a mess. It's all pieced together. You know, so you have all your breaker switches on here. Also, you want to know what it looks like if it's half tripped or anything like that. And cool thing is, for Southgate, they have all the contractor information for your warranty, which is a 1, 2, and 10 year. What do they get in the first year?
The warranty is pretty much going to cover anything cosmetic, or not cosmetic, right? So if something like you know, an appliance breaks or something like that, they're going to cover that. The 2 year is going to be your plumbing and your HVAC and some of the really expensive things, and the 10 year is foundation.
Yep.
Yeah. And
the cool thing here is that in Texas, of course, we have hot summers, and sometimes it doesn't rain for a month or 2 or 3. But here you have your whole sprinkler system built in, and which includes foundational water support. So there's a buried line all the way around the foundation, just because Texas is black clay, mostly everywhere, black clay, which if it doesn't rain, it will completely dry up, look like the desert. That could cause foundation issues. Now, as long as you can keep your foundation watered, then you shouldn't have any problems. But that's why, you know, builders, if they had problems, they wouldn't be putting 10-year warranties on these homes. So so that's something you don't really need to be concerned about, but also talk about that with your builder, and we'll do that for you, of course, and to make sure that they have that foundational support in there. Plus, there's sprinklers for the trees. We'll show you that outside. So let's go check out the outside. All right, now we're on the exterior of the house, and again, you're just gonna wanna walk through and look for simple things. You'll notice here in the brick, you'll see little spaces in the brick. That's natural, or that's on purpose, because the builder places that in, because even brick will expand and contract with weather. So you want those types of little small gaps throughout the property. You'll come over to this side, you'll see you've got like the gas meter here again. You want to know where your cutoff valves are at, just in case if you were ever to smell gas at all whatsoever. You could come out here, shut off the gas to the house, and then call somebody, because that could be a serious issue. You'll come over here and you'll notice you got electricity meter. Of course, you don't really do much there. This is a master breaker right here in case the zombie apocalypse happens and you need to come over here and just shut everything off. And then you've got wiring for you know, again, internet providers, things like that. You've got your 2 AC units, you know, one for upstairs, one for downstairs. And again, you just want to make sure that everything is clean and clear. You don't want leaves and dirt and everything else stuck on there. So that would be something, you know, by hiring a simple maintenance company to come by, which we know a very good one, the best, to do that for heat and air. That'll be good. And then they have, you notice, the units numbered and numbered on the wall there as well, so they know which panels go with those units. Now we'll transition into the backyard. Really nice gate, and again, you'll look at things like these are for the gutters. You'll notice how the gutters here, the gutters go into the ground and down, and this is where the drain actually is. So if water, you know, if it rains very heavily, these are gonna pop up and the water is gonna drain out, because you don't want that just draining directly on the foundation, because that'll start to drag the soil away from the foundation, and you don't want that. So that's why they bury them, bring them out a little bit ways, and it'll water the rest. You've got sprinklers throughout. This is going to be your exhaust fan for the gas fireplace. So sorry, Santa, nowhere for you to head down the chimney on these new homes. So you'll have to explain that to the kids. Come through here. Now, a lot may say, hey, you know, this is a pretty small backyard, but again, most of the time you don't move to these communities for the backyard. You move here for the lagoon, the blue sands, the white sands, blue lagoon. That's absolutely amazing. The amenity center, the trails, over 600 acres of green space here in Windsong Ranch. It's amazing. That's why we're here. And again, you come to the outside. Again, they've got the blank panels for your surround sound. You can wire your speakers in right there, and you can add a fan. There's going to be another switch. They have wiring for the TV outside here. So there's not going to be too much on the outside you just want to keep an eye out for, but you just want to know where these types of things are. Again, we have more gutter drains throughout here. You have some boxes for your sprinklers and your hose, your hose output right here. It's very well insulated, but you might still want to put a cover on there. It does freeze here in Texas sometimes, so that's something you want to keep in mind. And let's head over to the front. And as we make our way to the front, you'll notice you've got some exhaust vents right up here. And here's the interesting part. There's your drains for your furnaces up at the top. So in that window right there, that's what you want to keep an eye on. If you ever see dripping water in front of that window, then you know those drain pans are going to be full, and that's not a good sign. So that's where you keep an eye out for that. Then we get to the front here. Really not much going on here, but you want to know that you've got your sprinkler, for the sprinklers in the ground, where to access those. You'll notice over here, I'll show you these little knobs for the trees. So those types of sprinklers, they don't spray out, they just release water. And so that way it easily keeps the trees watered, but you want to make sure that you don't water. You can run out your tree. Good indication is if you keep the leaves nice and green, but if they start to down up on the tips, then you know it needs water. So you can regulate that. And Prosper right now, they don't really regulate when you water. Down in Dallas, they will tell you which days of the week you can do that, and how often you can do that, and how long. So otherwise, exterior of the house looks pretty good, and you get a good idea of where everything that you need. And that pretty much wraps us up right there. So if you're thinking about buying new construction, the main thing you can do, number one, is give us a call, all right? Shoot us a text, send us an email, or schedule a Zoom call if you want to talk to myself or Travis personally, and we'd be happy to get on a Zoom with you, talk about what's going on in your life and what's right for your family. But never contract directly with the builder. Not that they're out there to get you, but you do want proper representation. It does matter, and they like that anyways. You want to be able to, you want to have somebody that can represent you in your best interest. You want to keep an eye out for all these types of things, especially whenever you come through these walkthroughs on these new constructions. But otherwise, if you're working with the right builder, then everything's going to be taken care of. You don't have to worry about it. So again, whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. All of that information is in the description below. And until next time, well, we hope to show you around town.